Welcome to Living in Beauty. It's Tuesday, December 12th, 2017, 512 days on the road, and we're in Palm Springs, Florida. This is our first time here, Pico's too, and it's all about the iguanas. Everywhere, lying in the sun, hanging in the trees over our trailer. An iguana twice his size frequently comes out to hassle Pico during his sunbath. So, yep, we're those RVers with the yappy dog. Good thing this campground is mostly empty, but that'll change with peak season here in a couple of weeks. We're set up through Christmas, but even with our good luck, it will be a challenge to find Florida digs after the new year. If it doesn't work out, we can always winter on the Gulf Coast of Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, or run back up to South Carolina for the winter. Ah, South Carolina. The whispery rustle of satiny green leaves and silvery moss swaying on the breeze seem to invite you to sit for a spell. Thus, we lingered for weeks, for 48 days to be precise. We cast aside things that gave us a sense of urgency or importance, and we simply relaxed into the drift of Lowcountry bliss. Lord knows how many hundreds of bridges we crossed there, all leading to the same soft, earthy conclusion. No matter what happens in the outside world, everything will be just fine in South Carolina. October is birthday month. So we decided to treat ourselves to 3 weeks on Hilton Head Island, to eat fresh local seafood, to hear the local story and traditions, and to visit with friends and ride bikes on the famous white sand beaches. So we drove 200 miles south from Myrtle Beach State Park and took the historic and amazing Sweetgrass Basket Makers Highway and crossed the bridge to Charleston, where we decided to stop downtown for lunch. Now, we've done dumber things than try to park our 30-foot rig in downtown Charleston, and someday we'll come clean on that, but we got ourselves into a pretty tight spot with one of those huge, low-hanging live oak limbs. But it was worth the hassle to have a bite at Hannibal's famous soul food kitchen. Along the way that day to Hilton Head, we noted evidence of considerable storm damage and repair work. We drove on into Bluffton, and then just after crossing the bridge, we spotted the sign for the Hilton Head Harbor RV Resort and Marina on the left. As beginner RVers, it didn't take us long to disregard the word resort, but a reliable source told us this place is the real deal. And that E at the end of Sunset Grill hinted this might not be the usual campground burger joint. Whoa, the possibilities for birthday month were beginning to take shape. Resort amenities plus fine dining? Yes, harmony and balance. That's Libra heaven. Once again, we took a chance. So far, the Sunday afternoon arrival has proven successful. And October being an off-season month in Hilton Head, conditions were favorable for scoring a first-class RV experience. The friendly and professional staff greeted us with the happy words, "Yes, we have open spaces for the next few weeks." They directed us to their fleet of golf carts and invited us to take an open-air spin around the grounds to make our selection. The golf carts are a nice touch to reduce smog and noise, and they keep the lanes open and safe for pedestrian traffic and dog walks. You know us, we didn't want anything too extravagant, so we planted our new flamingo in a space with a garden, waterfall, and a backyard pool. Somehow, we would survive. Well, Pico was ready from the get-go for his spa experience. This campground is very pet-friendly, and there's a dog wash station large enough to handle any size pet. All 200 sites are full hookup, with 30 and 50 amp service, water and sewer. Every site is paved and with landscaped green screens between neighbors for a feeling of seclusion. The sites are not as large as a state park, but these are some of the most spacious sites we've seen in a private resort. Some sites are shaded beneath mossy live oaks and pecan trees. Others have full sun exposure. With taxes, we paid $70.40 per night, making this one of our most expensive site rentals. But considering the location and amenities, we think it's a bargain. The 13 waterfront sites are $10 more per night. All sites are back-in and reservations are accepted. Each site is unique because the sites are individually owned. Ours had a waterfall, others had fire pits, custom patio furniture, built-in grills, umbrellas, hardscape, and more. And the Wi-Fi is the best we've had since Chaswitzka River Campground. There are dozens of Wi-Fi towers throughout the resort, and each has its own bandwidth. The speed is fantastic. While we didn't need our Verizon cell service, the signal at our site was great. The tiled bathrooms are spotlessly clean and modern, with large private showers. The laundry room is clean, but in need of improvement. With 200 RV sites plus the Marina, they really need a much larger laundry with more machines. Now, this is not part of Hilton Head Beach. This is a boating and fishing area. Recreational paddling is offered and kayaks and jet skis are available for rent, but swimming and paddleboarding is not advised. My first day of paddling, an encounter with a 10-foot-long gator in the river, still murky from the storm, renewed my appreciation for a sparkling, gator-free swimming pool. With 2 clean and better-than-average pools with hot tub and sauna, also tennis courts, exercise room, fishing pier, horseshoe pits. There are plenty of recreational opportunities right there at the park. We weren't expecting mid-autumn to be so sultry, but we made the best of it, taking long walks under the mossy oaks in the cool of the morning, lounging poolside in the afternoon with a book, or just sitting beside the shady marina, watching dolphin and manatees. On Jim's birthday at Sunset Grill, the staff directed our attention to a pair of manatees frolicking in the water below. Sunset Grill tops the list of our favorite restaurants. The dining experience pairs nicely with that magnificent view of the Intercoastal Waterway. Their interpretation of traditional dishes floats our boat, and we became regulars for brunch and dinner. From the menu and service to the intimate setting, all was perfectly enchanting. We dined all over Hilton Head, and Sunset Grill is, by far, our favorite. This resort feels like a gated community. The long private drive into the park provides seclusion from the highway. Even though the restaurant, marina, boat launch, and campground are all open to the public, the park remained safe, quiet, and serene. No wonder some choose this place as their permanent home. Other residents are seasonal or weekend regulars, and some, like us, are just passing through. We dreaded the drive into and out of the park. Without a boat, there was only one way to access the resort, and it was gnarly, even for SoCal drivers. The traffic on 278 never lets up, and there's no stop sign or traffic light, so we avoided this spot during peak hours. The bike path stops a half-mile short of the resort, so we had to drive everywhere, even for 1 or 2 mile jaunts. Cycling the shoulder of that busy highway was just out of the question, so we'd drive a short distance away, park the truck in a free public lot, set up our folding bikes, and connect to Hilton Head's famous cycling pathway. What a fabulous experience! And a brilliant example of how world-class ecotourism is done. Thank you, Hilton Head. Once on that cycling path, Hilton Head's your oyster, except for the many gated communities or plantations. You are free to explore the salt marsh of Mitchellville Beach State Park, Pinckney Island, Colony Beach. Just across the bridge on the mainland, there are 2 large outlet shopping malls, and we stopped by Tommy Bahama Outlet Store for Jim's birthday present. Locals are always the best unofficial concierge service, and our experience is the folks at Tommy Bahama are a valuable source of insider knowledge. Well, it took some doing to pull ourselves away from the many charms and generous hospitality of South Carolina. We know how much we missed and are already planning to see more of Charleston, Beaufort, and Bluffton. But there's two sides to the Bobo birthday month. The first 2 weeks of October are Jim's, the second 2 weeks, mine. We'd spin the flip side in Savannah, Georgia, another beautiful and historic city that neither of us had ever seen. Living in beauty, the gift that keeps on giving. Thank you so much for joining us at Living in Beauty. If you like this post and want to be notified when a new one is released, please enter your email address and click the follow button at the bottom of this page. Okay, that's it for now. Have a great week.